Didn't really work because the little one was asleep. So we'll try this again. I've basically come to the conclusion that I think I need to just stay single, like altogether. I think I would be happier that way. I have this tendency of dating pretty much only cluster B personalities. I've literally dated every type of cluster, what it is. Um, every single one of my cluster B personality types, they've cheated. And what I define cheating is as sex. And it's so funny the excuses they have. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, I've literally walked in on people trying to claim that nothing was happening. I've um, I've seen photos and people trying to claim things didn't happen. One was like calling escorts and stuff and saying he was just calling to talk. I'm like, how dumb do you think I am? You know? So at this point, I'm just like, I literally cannot choose. I am so instead of blaming all these guys that I've dated who are terrible for me, I need to look at the pattern. Okay, because obviously I'm something wrong with me, right? There's something wrong with my I'm saying he did. I'm not saying he did. I'm saying other people, okay? But I'm not saying he did, okay? But like, I lost my train of thought. Okay, anyways, okay, so the most recent situation, went on a date with a girl, which is kind of shitty, but that's not what bothers me. He did have indiscretions with somebody like in December, some bitch named Sarah, and he tried to lie about it. And we had a phone that like, or he had a phone or whatever. I was getting his text messages, and I kept getting these calls, and I'm like, who the hell is this person? And this was Christmas. I didn't hear from him for like a week. I pick it up. I'm like, what's up? And like, it's, you know, it's not him. It's some girl, and she like tells me everything, and then he dumps her because she's crazy or whatever he says. So you know, like, I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like be honest, you know, if you're like a streamer, okay, like we'll get into my most current situation. If you're a live streamer and you want to go out with chicks for content, fine. Absolutely. Do that. That could be funny. That, you know, people like that. But don't go behind back and don't try to like justify it by saying it was content when we have an agreement that you talk to me about when that shit goes down. And by the way, honey, you're negative. You spent how much on your little dog walker and your little date and you made $5 on TTS? Really? Like, stop. And another thing too with now I'm just generalizing in all the horrible relationships I've had. Like it's like at the end, like I'm always financially devastated. You know, like we go halves or whatever, but it turns out being not halves. You know, so I'm trying to break up. Like I've tried to break up with him so many times, and he'll be like, "Oh, I don't fuck you, I don't care." And then when he realizes I'm serious, he like will not allow it. He freaks out. And I'm like, well, what's the point? Like, why am I gonna stay in a situation where I'm not treated right? You don't treat me right. Nobody's happy. Like, I mean, what the hell? It literally makes no sense, and it's completely toxic. You know? Cool, Joey. I'm not saying his little date with the dog walker was cheating. It wasn't. It was just lunch. But okay, it was sketchy. It was deceptive. You know, like if he would have said, "Hey, this dog walker came and she was kind of hot. I want to take her on for lunch for content." Cool. I would have been like, "Fine, absolutely." But I'm done with the lies and stuff. You know. I just think I'm incapable of picking a decent guy. Like I literally cannot pick up a decent guy, or pick. No, I'm sorry, not pick up, but I cannot date a decent guy. Like, you know, so I need to work on my issues if I even want to date. But I feel like I've lost so much interest in it because it's like, you know, oh, and these cluster B types, like they're charmers. You know, they know all the right things to say and all that bullshit, and then eventually the true person comes out and it's really ugly. And when you like to see the good in everybody, when you're forgiving, when you're you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just feel like that was fine, Shiva. I said I was there with the thing with what was his name? God, I the guy, okay, at the studio a couple nights ago, weeks ago, whatever. That was fine. I knew everything about that. He was asking if this was cool, and I was like, hey, do this, do that. That's cool. I'm about it. Because he was being honest. But when you're being shady, like, I just don't trust that. You know? I don't know. I don't, okay, like, I'm just saying, I have, like, it's about honesty, okay? If you can't treat me right, and if you're being shady, like, what am I doing? Like, you know? It's just dumb. And it's like if like most of the time we hang out, we don't get along. HH, you don't need to be up in here. I'm gonna block your ass. I don't want you up in here. Yeah, we have an agreement. Like, okay, if you're gonna do something for content, fine. Tell me about it. Be honest. Don't be shady. Okay, because he did some shit in December, and I knew he fucked her. Like, she told me. She told me everything. And you like, and I'm like, what the hell? And he's like, oh, I love you both. I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm not doing this shit. You know? And like, yeah. So that bitch's name was Sarah, and now he doesn't talk to her anymore because she's crazy. No, I told Sarah the truth. I said, look, I exist. There's a kid, and I'm not happy about this situation. But you know, do what you want to do. Have him. Because why am I gonna fight a girl over a guy who clearly doesn't respect me? I'm not. I'm not going to beg someone to treat me right. I'm not going to beg someone to be faithful. You know, I'm not going to beg someone to give a to give a fuck about what I care about. You understand? Oh, you can barely hear me? Oh, let's see. Oh, Cam, that's his name. All right, so the thing with Cam was I knew about that. He told me everything, and he was asking throughout the night, are you okay? Is this comfortable? Is this okay? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Because he was honest, and he didn't hide it from me. And when I tried to tell him about it today, like what I wasn't happy about today, he's like, oh, it's for content. I'm like, no, it wasn't. You know, like, we have a deal. If you're going to do something like that, you fucking tell me. Don't do shit behind my back, number one. When I call you out on it, don't fucking like don't talk to me like I'm stupid. Don't try to play me like, oh, it's for content. What content? Nobody tipped your ass. You made $5 today. You are negative. You know, and then he tries to pawn Nelly off on me. Like, I don't want Nelly here. Are you serious? I love that dog, but this is not my house. So if like, and he's like, oh, well, you know, your parents just gotta take her. They gotta take her. I'm like, no. He burns bridges. Damn near every bridge he crosses, he burns. Okay, his sister-in-law, he's not allowed there because he cussed her out, said horrible things to her because he was mad at his father. Okay, like I feel like if you're dating somebody, they should care about your family, they should care about your friends, and they should try their hardest to get along with them. Not like, oh, if there's an issue, buck up and like try to fight them and be like banned from the house. And he's like, you know what, well, you got to take the dog because it's all about streaming right now, and I can't take care of him, or I can't take care of her, and you know, she's just suffering. And I'm like, I agree with that. And if this was my house, I would absolutely take her. I love Nelly. The baby loves Nelly. You know, I would love to have her here, but this is not my house. And taking that dog would be considered a favor for you. And my parents are not going to do that. They are not going to do that. They're not going to do any kind of favors for you. They're just not. And when we hung out, well, if it's his service dog, shouldn't he have her? Why doesn't he take her everywhere? I'm just saying, I'm fed up. He's dishonest. He treats me like shit. I'm like an afterthought. I'm convenient. And it's like, I don't want to be an option. I want to be a choice. You know what I mean? So I can't pick a good guy. So clearly, I got some esteem issues. I got some issues, okay? And I really have no business dating right now. Or, I don't know, maybe at all. You know what? Like, I just don't want to date. No interest. You know? Oh my God. And don't even get me started on how freaking selfish in bed cluster bees are too. Oh my God. So if I were to sit and make a list of like the pros and cons, I would have to really, really rack my brain to come up with the pros. Like, I would literally no, I have no interest in love. We'll just leave it at that. I have no interest in love. Love with my child, not in a weird way, but like mother-child love is all I freaking need. Why do I want to set a horrible example for him and teach him, okay, this is what love is. Someone who doesn't respect you, someone who, they have no problem like publicly humiliating you, someone who gaslights you, someone who will dismiss your concerns, someone who can never fucking admit they fucked up. Are you kidding me? And it's like, when you guys probably seen some of the fights because he always has his goddamn cameras on. And it's like, he just wants to stop fighting. My take on it, why I'm offended, what he did wrong, he can't hear that. He's not that. He is borderline personality disorder. He's not fucking autistic. He is borderline. Look it up. He's fucking borderline. Borderline has overlapping criteria for narcissism, but that's not quite it. No, I do not. Thank you for asking. Y'all making me lose my train of thought with your trolls. But yeah, I'm at the point now where I'm just like, I need to just worry about myself. I've been I realize that, yes, there are some of those are similar, but borderline personality disorder is often confused with ADHD. There's a lot of other things it's confused with, even bipolar. Borderline at one point was categorized almost on a bipolar, like it was considered similar to bipolar. But then they realized that borderline is not in fact chemical, it is by choice. And the way they act, they get what they want acting that way. And they manipulate situations that way. And it's really fucking toxic. It makes you feel like you don't matter. It puts you on eggshells. And it's just not, it's not comfortable. No, I don't get any of the stream money. I don't have any access to his money. The baby's asleep. That's what it is. It's like, it's got to the point where I don't even care anymore. And people are like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like thinking about I'm crying. I'm like, no, I've been like disregarded, discarded and an afterthought for so long that like, I don't even hurt anymore. It's like fucking relief. Okay, I'm not about making people jealous, and I'm not even a jealous person. I don't go through phones. I don't go through your shit. If you're sloppy and if the bitch you're hooking up with is calling my fucking phone, that's your problem, okay? But I'm not the type of person to look for problems. But these idiots that I've dated, like, are, whatever, they want their cake and they want to eat it too. So yeah, I feel like I just need to do my own thing. And I'm gonna do the right thing as far as when it comes to Alistair. I'm not gonna be like vindictive or evil. I don't expect shit from him. You think I really expect he's gonna come through and support me in any way or like be there in any type of way? No. He's irresponsible and selfish. Like, I can't rely on him for anything. So if you think like I'm gonna like try to, clean him out or be vindictive or, be drama with the baby, like, I don't have time for that. I will do the right thing. He can see him whenever he wants. And I mean that. But I just cannot do the relationship thing. I can't. And honestly, I feel like with anybody, I can't pick a good guy. For some reason, these little red flags that should go off, these little red flags that should go off when I'm dating these type of guys, I ignore them. And I think, okay, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. I find myself making excuses for their behavior and the way they treat me. But then I think about, okay, well, if I were a girlfriend talking to me and saying, this and this happened, I'd be like, oh, girl, you need to leave him. He don't respect you. But I can't even take my own fucking advice. Well, it's okay. It's with toxic relationships. It's not that it's enabling. It's like literally resisting and standing up for yourself, especially if you're dating someone who's borderline. It's so fucking exhausting that it's easier just to give up. You just give up, you give in, because the fight will never end.